Hey friends, today it's subscriber bouquet day and we have a lot of subscribers to pick for. About 10 of our people decided that today was the day that they wanted to pick, so we've got a ton of harvesting to do, so come along with me. Also, don't mind my terrible voice. Unfortunately, I've got a bit of a summer cold. The children don't sleep, so mama gets run down. My goodness, look at all this amazing amaranth. Like, I know a bride would never go for this, but it's really kind of cool. You guys have also got to come see this. It's so adorable. I can't cut my cosmos because of this. Sadly, this is probably also the last week for my Bells of Ireland patch. This next row is probably going to be one of the most fun to cut. Let me show you. Right over here. Say hello to the glads. Aren't these glorious? Maybe not the prettiest colors altogether, but I think in separate bouquets they'll be quite beautiful. So glads are one of those flowers that are really easy to grow, but they involve a few extra steps, so it makes them a little bit more complicated. All of these that you see here, I pre-sprouted at about the 4-week mark before my frost date, and then just a few of them I held back and went straight into the ground so that I have a few more weeks with my glads than if I just did everything at the same time. I've also noticed that different colors seem to bloom at different times, so by doing it that way with a variety of colors, you'll be able to extend your glad season for as long as possible. Now, do you have to pre-sprout? Not necessarily, but I do find that if you're in a short growing season like I am, it guarantees that you get your blooms. Sometimes if you don't pre-sprout and you're not like putting them immediately in the ground as soon as your last frost date is over, the frost comes early and then you don't get to see your special glads. Also, you're going to have to take these glads out once everybody is done blooming, and then you can save them for next year and save yourself a bit of money. We'll also have a new ebook coming out about how to grow glads, so watch for that sometime over the winter. These white light sunflowers are probably my favorite sunflower. They're just so pretty, a little bit different because they don't have the brown centers, they have the light centers, and I really love them for bridal work. So if you don't already grow pro-cut white light, you should definitely add them to your list. So we have one precious dahlia that's in bloom this week, so I wonder if this will be the first one to go. So I wrap my bouquets with just rolls of craft paper. I haven't invested in the squares yet. I feel like I don't make enough bouquets to justify it, but maybe next year. So all I do is unroll it, and there's little squares on here, so I'll probably cut at about there Then I'll take this roll and we'll cut that in half approximately. So then I will fold it like so, cut a slit, fold that, and then it's really easy to wrap my bouquet. I always make sure the amaranth it gets out. And then I forgot my tape, but I would tape right there, and then we're done. And that's a wrap. So to change things up a bit, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about the state of the business in 2023 and like how I'm managing to seemingly do it all. Well, as to the doing it all part, I'm really not. This year I hired a lot of help, so I have a writer for me, Sierra, and she's responsible for most of the social media posts, and she's just started taking over the newsletter, and for co-writing the blog posts, she ghostwrites for me, and so she's been basically keeping the blog and the social media ticking along so that you wouldn't know that I needed some more time off. And then I also have someone that I hire to help me with the garden work, and she comes for anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week, and she just does all those chores that I usually don't have time to do. Like in a typical day, if I'm lucky, I have maybe 1 hour to devote to the garden, and usually that hour is spent doing the harvesting for whatever the orders are. So my responsibilities this year, besides like obviously being a mom and making sure like Julia has a first year of life that's really good, or as good as I can make it, is I'm in charge of YouTube. So that is why there have not been as many YouTube videos this year. I just can't. It's because I don't know how familiar you are with YouTube, but to film a video typically takes anywhere from like 2 hours to 4 hours. It depends if I'm doing a project or not. And sometimes it can take more, especially if I want to get fancy and like bring the drone out. So I've only brought the drone out once this year. So yes, that is why you just haven't seen as much YouTube from me. Also on social media, like any of the vertical videos. So for the shorts or for Reels, TikTok, like I just find it goes in batches. It seems like there'll be a week where I can actually pump quite a bit out and I'm feeling really good. And then I'll just get into a slump and I don't know, it just feels like an impossible task and I can't do it. But that's okay, because at the beginning of this year, I told myself I don't have to have a perfect garden. I don't have to have a social media presence that's perfect, that I am solely responsible for. So it's all right. Like Julia and my kids and my husband, they come first. And that's why I built this business. So now let's talk a little bit about the state of business in 2023. So 2023 has been a very weird year to be in business. I am only doing about half the bridal orders that I am doing. And of those bridal orders, most of them are not a typical order for me. So a typical order would generally be like, so a bride's bouquet and then groom's boutonniere, anywhere from like 2 to 5 bouquets and boutonnieres as well for their attendants. And then usually like a bucket or a couple centerpieces or something kind of thrown in, like just a few little extra things. And this year I'm lucky to have a bride's bouquet. I think either people are just doing untraditional things or they're just allotting their budget somewhere else, or I don't know if they're maybe doing fake flowers for their bouquet. But I've been doing a lot of bridesmaid bouquets or just orders of buckets or just the centerpieces, or like what I would consider very non-traditional orders. So yeah, I just haven't had that like wedding content for you. I only have 2 more weddings this year. So I have one this weekend and then another one September 2nd, and both orders are just for centerpieces. So I don't even know if I'm going to make a video for those ones, because I'm not sure if they'll really be as exciting for you, but we'll see how it goes. I've got to say that like if this would have been my first year of business, I had never run a business previous to that, and I would be very discouraged this year. I think It's been a really tough year. People are just spending different with inflation and like, cost of everything. It's just so ridiculous. So, I mean, I understand why people are not making regular wedding orders, why people are not ordering, like if I do a pop-up bouquet. I haven't done many pop-ups. I really haven't had the capacity for it, but just not getting very many orders that way. But I really do think things will turn around in 2024. Sorry friends, my camera died, so we're back to the phone because I want to finish this video. Thankfully, any of the weddings that I've booked for 2024 seem to be like a regular wedding. So that is very encouraging to me. Yeah, and you know what? If you are sitting here watching these and thinking like, you know, maybe business isn't going the way you hoped, or you just started trying to sell some bouquets from your backyard and you would like a little bit more support, definitely watch out for the revamped backyard business flower farming courses. If you know that you like need a lot of help and kind of want an all-in-one solution, then you can get my course as it is right now in the description. But if you're just like, oh, I maybe just need the business piece, or I maybe just need the growing piece, or whatever, that will all be revamped and available for you sometime in October, November. So now the part I know you've been waiting for, here's the bouquets.